Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So this video, as well as the next three videos after this, are pre-recorded because I will be busy going sort of out of town, but not really, a couple hours away for Labor Day weekend. And I will be back in the REP studio probably at around Tuesday or so. And I want to keep the content flowing daily because I feel as if it is important to, especially as we got all these elections coming up, engage with the audience a little bit more and talk about the midterms because they're roughly about a year away. We've got primaries. We've got a lot of things to cover, and it's very important that we cover them. So I wanted to talk about the Senate elections today. I'm not going to do a Senate prediction because I kind of did one last month, and a lot of people are saying, well, you should do a governor's election night probably later in the month of September. But in the meantime, looking at the Senate map, a lot of people on the left, a lot of people in the election mafia are saying that Democrats are favored to win in the Senate and that Republicans probably are going to fall short or they might even lose seats. And while it is not the most favorable map, they're just wrong, and I'm going to explain why in this video. But first, I do have to tell you guys about my friends over at Noble Gold. Have you heard of shrinkflation? Not inflation, shrinkflation. Shrinkflation is inflation by stealth, where you get less and less burger or candy bar for your dollar. But the Fed claims inflation is not a problem. Noble Gold solves this problem. Do you know that with a precious metal IRA, you can hedge growing prices and retire worry-free? So true. You'll keep up with the Fed's inflation. This month, Noble Gold is giving away a free 5-ounce pure silver America the Beautiful coin with every eligible IRA or 401k rollover. You can learn more about this service and other services offered by Noble Gold at noblegoldinvestments.com. Again, that is noblegoldinvestments.com. So looking at the U.S. Senate map for 2022, and I wanted to fill in all of the safe states first. And again, like I said, this is not going to be a prediction video, but I wanted to fill all the states that we know which way they're going. And Ohio and Iowa might be likely Republican at the end with the margins, and same thing with Florida. But we know that they're going to more than likely stay with the Republican Party. So the Republican Party, there are a lot of seats that they're defending, but a lot of those seats are safe states. Again, they're going to be at 47 at their floor, and you can fill out the Democrat states here. Democrats, their floor is actually a little bit lower than the Republican floor here. Let's even give them Colorado. Let's give them Colorado. Let's give them Maryland. So they're at 46. Republicans are at 47. Now, Republicans are probably favored in North Carolina as well, to the point where they're already at 48 seats. And Biden's approval rating is in the gutter. And there's really no reason to believe that it's going to be any higher than this in 2022. You might say, oh, well, Afghanistan's the reason why it's underwater. Give it a couple weeks, and it might bounce back up a little bit, but the trajectory is downward. It's been downward for a while now. The downward spiral started way before Afghanistan. And right now, even with the election mafia polls hyping him up, he's down at 45. He's probably in the low 40s right now, disapproval rating above 50%. So the national environment has changed even since, the exit polls. Even if Biden was 51 approve, 47 disapprove or so on election night, if we were to believe that, then that has dipped significantly. There have been polls that have been out that have showed, I think several polls from several polling firms that have showed that Biden is losing in the popular vote to Donald Trump in a 2024 matchup, which is huge, by the way. So ultimately, you can see the national environment changing. We're going to have a Republican favorable electorate. It's pretty obvious that we are. And you could look at the 2020 election results in all of these swing states. And by the way, the one exception is New Hampshire, because New Hampshire lagged behind a little bit, but even then New Hampshire would roughly be 50-50 if you assume the national environment has shifted 7 points or so since the 2020 election. And it probably will continue to shift, and probably to Biden's detriment. Maybe he does rebound a little bit at some point, but still he's going to be in the mid-40s probably at best in the 2022 midterms by the time the midterms come rolling around. And New Hampshire, probably if Chris Sununu runs, which he might not, but I think he's waiting so the polarization effect doesn't really kick in too early, which I think is a really smart move by Sununu. Again, in the polls, he's still, I think the last poll had him up by 8. I don't know if he's going to win by 8, but I think he could win by like 3. So New Hampshire probably going to go red. Republicans need 51. So there's 5 seats on the map. They just need to win 2 of them. Wisconsin is an easy one. You have an incumbent who probably is going to run again. Razor thin margin in 2020. A fluke for Biden to win to begin with in the state, to the point where Ron Johnson or whoever it is likely going to beat the Democrats, who may actually end up nominating a Bernie bro type of candidate as well, given the fact that Wisconsin's primary electorate tends to be a little bit more liberal in that regard. So already they're at 50. So Republicans need to win 1 of 4, and they got their star candidate in Sean Parnell in Pennsylvania, Herschel Walker in Georgia, Blake Masters self-funding in Arizona, even if he doesn't win. Pennsylvania, funds can be diverted there. Funds can be diverted to Georgia. Funds can be diverted to Nevada. Adam Laxalt's running in Nevada. You have your star candidates everywhere, and hopefully Trump will endorse them all. I know Laxalt will likely get Trump's endorsement. Trump is not a fan of Mike Brnovich. Therefore, I believe that Blake Masters is going to get Trump's endorsement, especially because we know Trump's been watching a lot of Tucker lately. And I believe Blake Masters, if he hasn't gone on Tucker yet, he'll probably be going on soon. Authentic populist candidate in Arizona that can self-fund. That's good. It's what we need, by the way. Self-funding candidates that serve the interests of the people, that serve the interests of the base. Then Republicans are going to be able to divert their funding into necessary places to secure the Senate in 2022. So nevertheless, let's look at Pennsylvania. Again, razor-thin state. Republicans won a lot of down-ballot statewide races in 2020 in the state of Pennsylvania. They won the recent referendum. You look at the Democrat candidates, they're fairly weak in Pennsylvania. So let's say Pennsylvania goes Republican, Republicans hold the Senate. But if it doesn't, let's say it doesn't. But Herschel Walker, the football star of the University of Georgia that played in the NFL, what if he wins in Georgia? Republicans at 51. What if Arizona, Mark Kelly, gets knocked off? Because Arizona was a razor-thin state in 2020, and even though it's moved to the left in recent elections, again, this is a midterm. Look at the national environment here. If the shift really is 7 points, I mean, we could even talk about Colorado being within 5, but I don't want to get carried away here. 54 seats is likely where the ceiling is. But also, could 54 seats be where the floor is as well? Because you look at this, Republicans, they could easily win in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. If Republicans win the generic ballot, they will have taken all of those states, and you could add in New Hampshire because of the Sununu effect. They will already be at 54. This is not rocket science, guys. We've been through this time and time again. I was right about the Senate in 2020. I said Republicans were probably going to hold states such as North Carolina, Iowa, Montana, etc., and probably even hold up in Maine with Susan Collins, at least on the first ballot of ranked choice voting. I didn't think she'd win in the second, but there was no need for a second, so she kind of blew my expectations out of the water. And then before the recall elections, I said, okay, Republicans are apathetic. There's a lot of anger at the GOP establishment. I expect Democrats to win at least one, if not both of them. And guess what happened? They won both of them. They took the Senate. So now what am I saying? I'm saying that Republicans are likely going to be headed for 54 seats in the Senate. As of now, things can change. Maybe Biden will see a massive bump at some point in the near future. Personally, I can't see one yet, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really do. If you look at the trajectory of Biden's administration, will he even be president by then? Probably, because I don't think Kamala Harris would want to take over until after the midterm, so she could serve 2 terms after that in terms of 2024 and 2028 up until 2033 per the Constitution. But in the meantime, this is a very interesting development with the Senate map here. And we look at this and we see, yeah, Republicans are likely to gain. Even though the map has them pushed back up against the wall, they seem to be the ones who have the upper hand here because the national environment is working out in their favor. Democrats in 2018 had to defend seats in North Dakota, Missouri, Ohio, West Virginia, Montana, and Indiana, and Florida. Now, they ended up winning in Ohio and West Virginia and Montana, but those senators are probably going to lose re-election in 2024 if they decide to run again. Same thing with Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Those could be competitive. Obviously, Democrats have fairly popular senators, but if Trump is on the ballot and Republicans find strong candidates to run for Senate, yeah, maybe Tammy Baldwin could be headed for the exits. You never know. But we'll really have to see what happens. But in the meantime, 2022, Republicans are definitely favored to retake the Senate. It's not really rocket science to determine that, but here we are. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle out.